Hey guys, it's Mike here in Taiwan. I want to tell you a little bit of a story about my student. He basically he has to use his phone outside of his house, so he can't use his phone at home. He gives his phone to his parents when he goes home. I basically told him like point blank that he's addicted to his phone. He basically spends every waking moment with his phone. And I don't know necessarily if this resonated with him because he is a kid. I mean, he's like 15 years old. He's a teenager or whatever, but. The thing is that it's kind of like hindsight is 2020. Like me being an adult, I just see that I don't want to necessarily say that the phone is going to ruin your life because everybody's on their phone, they're doing their things on their phone. But I keep saying phone, phone, phone. It's weird about how we just kind of let life just pass us by. We want to make videos and camera shots about like the things and show everybody like what we're doing, but like are we really experiencing life to the fullest at that moment, right? And I'm not necessarily you gotta go like ziplining or jumping out of planes and stuff like that, right, to really excite yourself or whatever it is. But when you're talking to somebody, are you really like feeling that moment so that you can remember later, even like 5 years later, like, hey, do you remember that time that we went over to the restaurant and we had that coffee together or something? Probably not. You're just gonna think it's like some moment in time that just passed, and you're just gonna kind of go on with your life. I had another story when I was in China. I was with my friend, my two friends. The first guy he's kind of weird. He's a bit of an alcoholic, but that's another story. And he actually tragically passed away, but I'll save that. So anyway, so we're in three people, sitting somewhere, and the third guy he's a young guy, he's maybe 24 at the time. He's on his phone, and I'm talking to my friend, and I said to him, like, what's the point of his name is Jeff, like, what's the point of Jeff being here? He's like on his phone anyway, right? And if that's kind of your etiquette, and if you have five of your friends, you guys all go to your Starbucks or whatever, and just say, okay, well, I'm gonna go on my phone, then more power to you. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I'm just telling you that it's just a matter of fact that you're going to be missing something. Something's going to pass by, or you're not going to really experience life that way. Is that what life is now these days? You're just like, you have a window for your life, and then you're not really experiencing it. You're experiencing everything virtually, right? Even if you're 10 million miles away, and I do this regularly, though I do video call like friends and relatives from abroad, but you're 10 million miles away, and do you have like a relationship with that person? Like, even if this person is in the same city, if you video call them or you text them all the time, like, is that a real relationship? And I'm not saying you need to go like touch their face or kiss them or whatever, right? But even sharing that moment when you guys both went to the same restaurant to go like share that pizza, like I think I want to have a pizza today. That's like a real moment, right? The smell of the pizza, the taste and texture of the pizza, going over there and making time. These are things that like really matter, right? And I think that we have just kind of got to this point where everything is, obviously virtual. You put all your stuff and you put all your things online for people to kind of categorize and watch later. And it creates this like sense of timelessness, because you think that, okay, well, I always have time to do something. I'm a 17-year-old girl, and I have time to go out with my friends and watch videos and do my makeup and whatever it is. I'm a 41-year-old man. I have time to. No, you don't have time. It's like just passing. Everything is passing so quickly, and then on top of that, you have your phone and your just, I don't know, guys. It just doesn't really sit well with me. I think almost. The last time that I was in Toronto, the subway actually doesn't have any. You can't use your phone because I don't know, maybe the concrete is too thick or whatever it is, right? Even I guess in the tube or whatever in the UK, you can't use your phone, right? So there's a bunch of these people, and they're just like reading books and stuff, like, you know, on their way to work, right? And maybe that's almost a better way. There's like some weird statistic about like 30% of people in England or something, like they don't even have like a cell phone, and I almost like agree with that because they value life more, you know. And every time that I say that to any, like almost anybody in Asia, they think that that's just so like just old school. And you know, why is it that they wouldn't be like with technology? You have to use technology, otherwise you'll be left behind. Left behind of what? You know, you think that like some dude who's like over in the forest and didn't have any internet for like 10 years, this guy must be like some weirdo, or there's like something wrong with his brain or something. But maybe he thoroughly enjoyed himself, you know. And I mean, you want to look at science, like maybe there's something, there's obviously a difference between somebody who uses their phone all the time and somebody who just doesn't. You know, I think that probably there's some scientific based fact somewhere where they, you know, using your phone to, you know, kind of get that dopamine fix in your brain all the time is going to make your brain smaller. Non-activity, there's just so many, you know, you look at pros and cons of you know, somebody just sitting on their couch. We used to have this thing like a long time ago called like a couch potato, which is like somebody who like sits in front of the TV and just like watches TV all day. But now they're not watching TV, they're just like lying on the couch and they're like just glued to their screen. And I just, you know, I wonder about that, you know, is that kind of like the new normal? And even then, you know, what is it that we are striving to achieve by having people that are just kind of so lazy in society? You know, I was watching this video. This is actually really important about how how people are just afraid of being average, and they're talking about Anthony Bourdain, and I don't care about that for like this video, but like this guy, he was you know, he was some like top level chef for like 20 years or whatever, and then at like 42 years old he realized that's not what he wanted, right? So he wrote a couple books. The books didn't really do well. He took another chance again, and he wrote to like the New York Times or like whatever it is, and it like totally changed his life. The point, guys, is that there's this thing called the ego death, and that's kind of a weird thing to talk about, but it's like just kind of putting yourself out there, and you're not sure if that thing is going to necessarily you know, make you $1 million or whatever it is, and it makes you kind of look dumb. You know, you put out that song, you put out that book, you put out that whatever it is, you put that podcast out, and you know, you're just hoping for like something, and that somebody is going to recognize it, or maybe it's not even anybody, maybe it's just for you. But we have this comfort zone, right? And from that video, I got this really great quote. It was, the comfort zone is where dreams go to die. And I hate saying like all of these like these words that are just like this. It just tells you about like the finality of life, right? But you know, it's like we're in this comfort zone. You know, I'm in this Taiwan comfort zone. You're in this Canadian comfort zone. You're in this American comfort zone. And you know, we just do the same things over and over again for the next 10 years. We just basically are in a 3-hour radius of where we were born, and we go to work and we go meet our friends, and then we go to Scarborough, and you know, we go to you know, the southern part of Taiwan, and whatever it is, and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, where you're looking at your phone all the time, and then 5 years passes by, you know, and you're just doing your job. You know, I was telling somebody that if I didn't have a goal and a dream or desire to do anything better, I'd probably just be like some manager over at a fast food place that sells tacos or something like that. You can kind of fill in the blanks, right? But I don't. I can't do that. It's just like, why would you waste your life like that, right? So guys, I hope that you guys got something out of this. I know that I'm on the internet and you guys are watching this like from your phone, but at the same time, like, you know, go touch grass. Go find something better to do. Go to a new restaurant. Go to a new cafe. Go meet some new people. I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.